Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Doujinshi, and welcome back to another episode of Hentai Reviews, where I'm not even gonna do the intro for this one. What the fuck did I just watch? I do not know what I just watched. I don't know, okay? I almost 100% sure that I just watched a fever dream, and I want to talk about it almost immediately. So, let's go ahead and get into it. Today, we are going to be diving into something that recently had a second episode come out, but we're going to do the first one because I'm a man and I'm going to do the first thing first. So, today we're going to be looking at, and I have it written down to the side, Usamimi, Bouken-tan, Sekuhara, Shinogara, Sukue, Episode 1. AKA, or at least this is the translation that I saw when I was looking it up, Saving the World with Sexual Harassment. If this is an indicator for what you're about to get into if you decide to watch this from my recommendation alone, god damn you. Just overall. So, this little ditty is done by our friends over at Majin Petite, running at about 16 minutes and 37 seconds long, with a total of 9 categories, notable of which monster, plot, and fantasy. Now, if I sound a little sorrowful about that, you'll understand, because I'm going to go off in a second. You see, this series is very strange, because I'm not even going to put any names in this. Episode 1 starts off with the main character, who's in a suit, tie, doesn't say anything. He's walking down the street, and then, out of nowhere, he takes a single step on, essentially, the Isekai landmine, or, as everybody else knows it, a fucking manhole cover, and then after taking the single step into it, he is then whisked away to another world, ready to join Kirito and all the other motherfuckers who got isekai'd away, who I can't remember at the moment because, fuck, this show is so weird. After doing so, he immediately teleports into a battle between 3 different people, which is a bunny girl, who's going to be the main girl of the whole thing, and 2 orcs. Now, during these, the orcs don't look like they're ready to bone at all. They're ready to murder, okay? They are about to beat the shit out of this girl. And as soon as he shows up, he's like... Because he doesn't say shit. He just sits there and like, what's going on? But non-verbally. And the whole time he's doing it, the bunny girl is explaining all this shit that's going on. And they're like, clearly, he is the hero. And then they go to attack. The orcs sprint towards them, ready to beat the shit out of them, axe in hand, ready to murder him. And then they said, we challenge you. And then they, who was the first? What was the first? Who is the? And then they just ask him trivia. They ask him trivia. He opens his mouth. It cuts to black for a quarter of a second, and then it cuts back. And then the orcs are running away. Just out the fucking gate. They're dipping out. No, they are done. Because they just can't handle the trivia master, apparently. So, naturally, the bunny girl is like, clearly you're the greatest hero of all time. So, she takes him and then leads him around the just world, okay? Leads him around like, look at this town, look at these people, enjoy everything that's going on. And during this time, just checking everything out. At the very end of it, they go to like this halfway home for adventurers, really. It's just a spot like, hey, new guys, come here, you stay the night, we're going on a trip. So, in the middle of this whole sex scene, scene number 1, which leads into scene number 1, because once they get into the bed, they realize that the dude has night wood, which is not morning wood, it's I'm about to fall asleep. First off, that's a weird one right there. And he's like, I gotta take care of this. And she's like, what? That's crazy, bro. I would have never guessed. And then he's like, I'm not gonna ask you to do it. So he just starts beating it off right then and there, which leads into scene number 1. Scene number 1 goes from 3 minutes and 5 seconds to 3 minutes and 30 seconds. It's 25 seconds. Not going to care because we're still moving. During this time, the girl is just like there, like flashing her panties at him to help, but nothing else. Okay? This is a weird relationship. You see, after this whole thing, they go through town again. And they're in their search for a place called Green Village, which is natural. This sounds like the beginner area to most JRPGs. On their way to Green Village, they're walking, and this doesn't have anything to do with the plot, but I wanted to mention it. As they're walking, he trips and, like, tumbles in there, and it doesn't, like, it's not the etchy thing where it's like, whoops, and then, like, hand on the boob. This is, like, trips, oh no, and then, like, one hand is straight into the panties, all the way in to things that is not made of fabric. They are made of flesh and a whole bunch of folds. And the other hand is like grabbing all of the boobs like in one hand. And the right side of the right tit and like everything else, just overall the whole damn thing. What the fuck is this trip? But after he trip, in the middle of the trip actually, they're met by just a random dude named, how did I say his name right? Banana Oil. His name is fucking Banana Oil. And in the middle of the thing, the dude's like, hello, my name is Banana Oil. Clearly I'm the most normal person you've ever met, because I'm never gonna bring it up. So, what I want you to do is I want you to follow me, because obviously I'm a pretty important dude. The king needs to talk to both of you's twos, and you gotta come with me. Gotcha. And then they're like, no. Clearly, because that's what you're supposed to do. Dude with a banana-shaped head named Banana Oil. Not Banana Oil Man, like Powdered Toast Man or some shit. Just Banana Oil. That's like if you rock up to a club and you're like wearing like skeleton thing. You're not like Bones. You're not like Johnny Bones or some shit. Your name is Femur. That's it. And after this dude comes up, he's like, you will come with me. And they're like, no. And he's like, well, you've insulted me then, so I will clearly have to challenge you. So he challenges them. And as he goes to attack, he starts laying down banana-based trivia. Who is the first Japanese person to ever eat a banana? What are bananas made of in this continent? What the fuck? And it just keeps going. This whole thing, just banana-related trivia. The main dude opens his mouth, and then it's over. Like, he's like, you've clearly bested me. No, I cannot be in your presence, great trivia master. What could I possibly do to satiate such amazingness that is your mind? So I must leave. You worthy duelist, you. Hoo 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 hoo. So he then dips the fuck out by throwing, by like bank shotting a cheerleader's costume straight towards them. And he was on a cliff this whole time. And he jumps off the cliff and then fucking flies away. Like, just straight up fly. Nothing else. They just fly off. He doesn't have wings or a thing. He like, I must leave. My people need me. And then like, dips the fuck out. So in the middle of this whole thing, they're just like, hey, free sexy uniform. Which they just straight up get to immediately, like right then and there. She puts on the uniform, sexy cheerleader, you know, go man go. And the dude's like, this is really turning me on. She's like, that's weird. What would this sexy uniform be turning a man on for? Clearly, there's no reason for it. But it leads into scene number 2, where he's got a hard on and he's got a free hand, so naturally he's got to use it. So he's into scene number 2. Scene number 2 goes from 6 minutes and 45 seconds to 8 minutes. And you know what happens in this scene? The girl who's like dressed up, the bunny girl this whole time, is cheering him on as he's like going to town. And not cheering him on is like, oh yeah, I bet you love it when I do this. She's straight up like, hey Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Like fucking cheerleaders, like Dallas Cowboy fucking cheerleaders, just going off this whole thing as she's just, what the fuck? She has pom-poms. But, okay. After this, they then leave again. But as they leave, they go into a place. They go through this tunnel, and as they're going through this tunnel, they meet a girl, and they save the girl, and then they never bring her up again. And then they continue walking, and then they're accosted by more orcs who are obviously ready to beat the fuck out of them. But then they're saved by a sword girl, who then doesn't do anything. She just disappears. Just like, nothing personnel, kid. And then, like, dead. The orcs are dead. And then they move on. But then after that, they meet a succubus girl named Succubus-chan. What the fuck is with these names? And afterwards, they find themselves in a halfway home again. The same one. They use the same background for this. And then, in the middle of the whole thing, they're like, you know what? I think it's time. And then they lead into like, well, you know what we just survived? Whole bunch of bullshit, but we're gonna have sex. So naturally, it leads into scene number 3. Scene number 3 goes from 11 minutes and 20 seconds to 13 minutes and 10 seconds. And you want to know why this is weird? Because in this sex scene, the reason why it's weird is because as they're like going straight into the sex, the dude tries to get into the mood and leans over and tries to kiss her, but then she says, "No, do not kiss me. I am pure. I am a virgin. You may rearrange every part of my guts," and like spreads her legs open really far. "But if you kiss me, I swear by my mother, I'll have you arrested." And then he just right into the fucking frame and goes to town. But no kiss is shared. He rearranges all of her ovary canals and the associated things alongside them, and pretty much most of her lower intestine and stomach. But no kissing, because that's lewd. And we don't do lewd here. We do fucking. So after that, they get out, ready to go into the world. Then, as they're leaving, they run into Succubus-chan again, who's like, "I want that dick," and the bunny girl is like, "Fuck you, bitch." So naturally, the succubus is like, "Alright, bet. Trivia time!" And then goes for more trivia. To which case, the dude answers everything perfectly, but never actually answers them, because he keeps cutting to black, and then nothing gets answered ever, because the main character doesn't have a voice actor. And then Succubus-chan is like, "Oh, I've been defeated," and then like floats off into nothingness. And during the floating off period, they're like, "Well, I guess we're off to our next adventure." And then Succubus-chan is like in the background of like, "I wonder where they'll go next. I bet they could definitely use me as a friend." And then just into the end, right then and there. So you want to know what? Fuck it. We're going straight into the review. We're going straight into the pillars, everything, whatever the fuck I called them. Okay, let's get into it. Characters and animation. Animation. Overall, this is a 6 out of 10. This is a 6 out of 10 budget because it is serviceable, but by no means bad. And by no means good, okay? This is a 6 out of 10. It is slightly above average for certain scenes. But other than that, average across the board. The story and characters are so fucking funny. Like, this is so stupid. The name is literally Saving the World with Sexual Harassment. That's fucking hilarious. And then there's banana oil. There's pom-pom. Just lollipop chainsaw. You can jerk off. It's just whatever's going on right there. You can do it. Like that one dude from every fucking Adam Sandler movie. You can do it. Whatever the fuck was going on there is so fucking stupid and funny that it's a 10 out of 10. I'm not gonna go on anything. This is a fucking 10 out of 10 when it comes to characters and story. Now what we're all really here for, the plot. Plot's not all that great. The first scene is 25 seconds long. The second one is 1 minute and 15. The third is the longest because it's 1:50. Now that's about a fifth of the series of the fifth. No, it's a sixth actually, because it all comes down to about a little more than 3 minutes, which is still about a fifth or a sixth. That's not that long comparatively to things that are like 65% of it. This is barely a fifth. And what is there is so goofy that you're here to laugh, but you can get like a half boner most of the time. So, I'm going to do myself a favor, and I'm going to call this also a 6 out of 10. So, for the overall, for everything else, the final score for this is a 7 out of 10. Averaging everything up and then bringing it together. This is so goddamn weird, hilarious, and funny that there's no way that I can't say that this is above average, but the rest of it is so, like, its own thing that I don't know what to do other than this. This is hilarious. I would recommend this solely. I recommend this. This is a put your pants on and watch it. This is like hand halfway down the pants watching this thing for the plot. 7 out of 10. Watch it for the story. Not for the plot, the story. Watch this for the story. Because this is so goddamn stupid that I can't wait to watch the 3rd episode. I'm on my new schedule, and hopefully I'll be able to watch it in the next few days. So, until next time, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Thank you everybody for being here. As of recording this, I'm still sitting at 169 subscribers. I'm really working my way up to the next level of it, which I want to see if I can hit 200 before the end of the year. Thank you everybody for trying as hard as you can, and thank you for everybody who's stuck around with me. Fuck, there's no way that I could be here without you. I love each and every one of you, from the people who comment on my videos, to the people who just watch because they feel like it, to the people who click off immediately after watching it because they really like, because they don't want to unsubscribe because they feel bad. Thank you, every one of you. My admiration is in your heart and is in mine as well. Thank you. So, until next time, I've been the Doctor. I'm confused, I'm a little turned on, and I'm also weirded the fuck out. So, until next time, have a nice day, don't be a dick, there's too many of them, and wash your fucking hands. And I've been the Doctor. I'm gonna go see if I can do the next video. Peace.